You've got the wrong... Nori, right? Sure thought killing all them folks was pretty slick.
Questionable surgeries, loads of lost limbs, and what in the organ transplant is going on here? Today, we're back at it, breaking down and reacting to all of the over-the-top medical scenes and robotic injuries from murder drones. Let's dive right in.
Вот ваш ключ. Берите меня с вами.
There's an eye patch there. We actually use eye patches in the emergency department. Majority of the time, eye protection, laceration, or an injury to the eye itself. You don't want anybody touching it, so we'll put this protective eye patch on. Typically, they're hard.
Это условие.
What? If you take a gunshot wound to the face, could you survive? What would happen? Of course you have the chance to survive because it could go through the side, it could ricochet, it could go down. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going straight through. Oh, what do we got? This rusty old hatchet. The hatchet's just a smaller type of axe.
You know what a hatchet is, don't you, Bug?
People do use these against each other, unfortunately. Majority of the time, they're pretty blunt. They're not as sharp, but they are still heavy enough that can cause some damage, laceration, fracture, dislocation, these sorts of things at different joints. Wow.
Signals picked at this one.
Sometimes these literally can get stuck in people's bones.
It's in the bone!
If there's any bone involvement, you always worry about an infection into the bone. Something called osteomyelitis. Treatment of it ends up being antibiotics for a longer period of time.
Of course, some parts are more valuable than others, ain't they? More valuable. Whoa, hey, cut that thing up and you're gonna get a big creepy worm. An improvement.
Interesting. So cutting the neck, looking for parts. The neck does hold one of our most important parts, your spinal cord. Without your spinal cord, really is not you when it comes to most of the activities that you would do, moving, organ function, breathing, and your heartbeat.
Ain't our first rodeo.
What? It's never good when you find things in jars, brain, or head in the fridge. At least things are labeled. We use fridges at the hospital to store some of our medications that need to actually be refrigerated. But everything's labeled, has an expiration date. Somebody just going nuts. We got the black stuff just flying everywhere. There are a couple of procedures that I do in the emergency department where there will be a lot of blood. One of them is something called ECMO. Basically put these big tubes into somebody's blood vessels to help get their blood out and put it back in. And we need to do it emergently. So I don't know where they're at, but maybe they're in an operating room. It's pretty dark in there. Most operating rooms are super bright.
Doing great, dude.
Still moving. Yeah, typically that wouldn't happen. We sedate individuals. We will put them to sleep. We will help breathe for them.
Tried sawing there?
That saw literally looks like the chain to a chainsaw. The saws that are used in medicine are much finer, really sharp, and we don't use them that often. More magnets. Why more magnets? I'm assuming the magnet is deactivating.
Magnets, how do they work?
We actually use magnets on certain patients in the hospital and even in the emergency department. Typically, people who have pacemakers or a different type of defibrillators, the magnet actually puts it in a very specific mode if it's not working or causing issues.
You're a lot like her, I'll say. Except her yellow eyes.
Nothing like some fun pruning shears to cut off a finger of a robot.
Grab some pruners. Let's prune.
Creep.
Oh.
You've got the wrong... Nori, right? Sure thought killing all them folks was
Oh. stab into the hand and then rotate.
Twist it.
I don't advise that, but that is how more damage is done. In a human hand, you have your metacarpals. You can get in between them or right on them, break the bone, and then actually twisting. Typically, the vessels run alongside the bones, so that's how you cause a lot more damage. Oh, I've seen individuals that have had their hands so destroyed, you know, blast injuries, crush injuries relating to working at a big facility or even car accidents. Oh my gosh. A lot of different reasons why the hand can get mangled and destroyed. But if it's so destroyed, at some point it actually just gets amputated to where there's nothing that somebody can do to put all the tissue back together. These robots are definitely on the struggle bus. If you do find yourself kind of feeling the occasional stress out there, I have a supplement that I created for this very thing. It's called Chillax on lifehappens.com or on Amazon, and keep your system running smoothly.
Use your solver!
Ed! Watch it! I don't think I should. I'm sorry, Ed.
If you do have an eye trauma like that, you don't want to actually put pressure on the eye. It's like the one time that you don't want to put pressure if you're concerned that the globe or the eyeball itself has an open hole to it, because then you'll squeeze out all the fluid. Murder the drone. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
No, there's no escape, even in death.
What? Lost a limb. I just see you go flying in the background. You wouldn't be able to function well, and the pain would be astronomical. Put a tourniquet on it, get to the hospital, bring the limb with you. Obviously, the patient's going to need a lot of pain medication.
I promise it's better on the winning team.
When somebody starts losing a lot of blood, they actually will potentially start losing their blood pressure. So people will come in and want pain medication, but most pain medication actually decreases your blood pressure. You may reduce their drive to keep their blood pressure up, and you can actually really hurt them. Gotta get duped. You gotta get duped.
Oh, how about you fight me?
Oh, they got a lot of oil or black goo in there. So if you lose like 40% of your total blood volume, your likelihood of survival is pretty darn low if you're not able to get any of that back. Oh, right back at you. Super cool. Inside the chest looked like the heart. We do heart transplants, so the heart is able to be outside of the body, but it needs to be placed on a bypass system, meaning the blood is flowing in and out of a machine, acting like your heart as you're having a heart transplant. Murder drones. This was really cool, actually. Let me know what you guys think about this. Let me know what I need to check out more. And as always, definitely binge watch this playlist right here. And please make sure you subscribe, turn your bell notifications on, and hit that like button for me. Thank you so much for watching, and stay healthy, my friends.